People are saying RPA is dead. What is the future of RPA in the next 2, 3 years or 5 years down the line?
AI agents is a most thing that is happening in. So there were very many challenges what clients were facing in, and at that time actually even the chatbots were quite new.
What inspired you to take the leap and start your own company in automation and AI space?
Don't rely only on one particular technology.
One technology that excites you about the future. It should not be AI.
Captures the codes. It actually understands if there is any lag that is happening and provides recommendations in terms of what's a better code or simplified code that you can use.
Or organization has a bots built in these technologies. Can they be onboarded on your platform?
Companies start adapting to these particular technologies in this manner, a lot of critical processes, a lot of challenging processes can be automated at a much faster pace than what they are today.
Advice to the young professionals who are aspiring to build their career into this RP and automation space. Hi all, welcome to another episode of RPA Dead podcast, and today we have an exceptional leader who is leading one of the businesses in IT-powered business automation. And our guest is none other than Srikanth, who is the founder and CEO of Adaapt AI. We will touch base upon a lot of questions and a lot of insights around automation space along with AI, how AI is revolutionizing the automation space. All that will be covered in this podcast. So stay tuned. So Srikanth has been recognized by Forbes Top 100, and he has also been recognized one of the Times of India trailblazing startups. So his startup is recently got awarded from Times of India, and he's also Apex CEO of the year 2022. So we have quite a lot to learn from, or the insights that Srikanth brings in this podcast, and we'll try to cover them. So with that, I will hand it over to Srikanth to introduce himself to the audience. So welcome to the podcast, Srikanth. Excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks, Deepender. Thanks a lot, actually, and thanks for having me in this session, actually. I've been quite following your blogs and your newsletters for a while now. They were very informative, actually, and thanks for having me here. And nice to meet you and chat with you, actually. Thanks for that introduction as well. Yeah, I come with almost over a decade of more than 17 years of experience, working with MNCs, and have gained knowledge enough in terms of understanding the business processes, basically, and giving them the automation solutions. So I more specialized in manufacturing and logistics. My core domain is manufacturing logistics, and always it's been I would say that there's a lot of solutions, and my whole aspiration is actually to bring in a lot of changes in this industry specific processes. So that's exactly where the whole journey of Adapt has started in. And definitely the advancement of technologies and the kind of new technologies that are coming in, it actually gives me a lot of interest in terms of providing solutions for these industries.
So, Srikanth, would you like to share your journey, how you got into this automation space, and what has been your journey?
Right. It all started in 2019. So 2019 is where so we were working with multiple startups, actually innovative startups, and we were working with multiple companies. And while I was working with Accenture, so we had great discussions in terms of understanding the problems of various clients. So there were very many challenges what clients were facing in, and at that time actually even the chatbots were quite new, they were just emerging at that time. Also the RPA technology is also quite new at that time. So we happened to had a lot of discussions with them, and we happened to understand their challenges. So that's exactly where we come up with a solution of merging both chatbots and RPA, and we try to build a kind of couple of solutions for clients, and that has actually really taken well. And it also really helped client in terms of automating their almost 15 to 20 branches across globe. So that's actually one of the major success, and I would say that that's the starting point where I got the thought of really making it more simpler, simplified, and my main agenda was to actually make it more reachable to a lot of old or traditional companies or manufacturing units to actually use this particular technology at a very ease. They can just download it and they need to just quickly deploy it. That's exactly where the motivation point has started in. And 2020 is where I started the company, and we initially got clients like ITC and Varroc, so where we have actually deployed the solutions, and we got the initial success, and we could clearly see that there's a lot of demand for this kind of technologies which are emerging in. So that's exactly where everything got changed, and finally the entire thing got started, and we designed the product. We understood the need of the market, where exactly these bots are failing in. So we have finalized the what are the features that need to be there in this particular product, and that's exactly where we have started this. I mean, the entire journey started in 2000, I would say 2021, where we have actually started the complete operations from our side.
Okay, so basically, how much experience do you carry, right? Before starting your own business, what was your experience and where you were working?
15 plus years of experience, and I was working with companies like IBM and Accenture. Mainly, I was working as a digital transformation lead in Accenture.
Okay.
And I was working with clients like 𝐻𝐵 or Asahi, and we are providing solutions for them through Accenture. And I was working with multiple startups in terms of providing this innovative solutions or new technology. At the time, it was more innovation actually,
And that's where, while working there, you identify the gaps in the market, and that inspired you to start something.
I mean,
I have a dedicated question on this topic. We will come to that as well. We'll deep dive into it. So, any fun fact that most of the people don't know about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very good movie lover, and I really watch a kind of movies which are quite unique, and most of the people won't watch. So maybe that is one of the different aspect in me. Yeah.
Okay, and what are those kind of movies?
More practical, more realistic, more close to the practicality.
I recently watched Srikanth and I remember your name also. Or all people with a Srikanth name are achievers. that thought came in my mind.
Yeah, there are many movies actually. You can
Yeah.
watch a good number of movies in that.
Superb. So now coming back to the question, what inspired you to take the leap and start your own company in automation and AI space?
Basically, I'm a problem solver. I mean, my mind always thinks towards providing solutions or towards simplifying the tasks, basically. And I've always been like that. I always try to simplify my day-to-day work. So that's the kind of thing that is already there within me, like aspect of solving big problems or challenging problems, or understanding what exactly the client is going through, and giving solutions around it. So that's been my core interest area. And I was excited to actually do more, and really put out my knowledge, complete knowledge into that aspect, and to bring on great solutions. That's the key motive behind why I choose digital automation and this AI space. So back in 2016 or 2015, if you see, I mean, these technologies were not there, and solely we are all dependent on these application developments and building web applications, ERPs. That was on the rise. So when we actually see this digital automation coming in, especially the RPA technologies, the chatbots, and the kind of people using them, and the kind of innovation solutions that can be come out using these technologies, that really inspired me. And we actually developed a complete end-to-end solution for route settlement process in SAP, and we have solved a couple of shipment-related processes. And when that really got appreciated, and when that really started working actually, and I could clearly see that in the entire solution was working very seamlessly, and many people are getting benefited out of it. So that's exactly inspired me, and I could clearly see a huge scope for these automations in coming 10 years. The whole process is completely different to your application development side. So that's exactly what piqued my interest, and I could clearly see a better way, a much better way, and a simplified way to do this job. So that is actually driven me this entire thing, and that motivated me. So since I have all the success with me, and I've seen that journey, and I have been discussing use cases with multiple clients, and that really gave me a complete 100% confidence to start the company. So that's the key motivation.
So that was about like filling gaps and identifying customer challenges, right? Challenges faced by the company, you tried addressing them. But what about challenges Srikanth faced? Like, did you quit your job to start this, or you were hustling around, and then that the decision making point came that whether you should leave your job and then continue full on here? So what was that story?
I think as I said, I mean, we started the company in 2020, but actual journey started in 2019 and 18 kind of a thing. So where I was doing my pre-research work, like when I just started understanding about these new technologies, I started my journey way back in 2018. So since that time, I was exploring, and I was talking with multiple people actually outside the company, and I was just talking with a lot of startup founders, and I was just discussing a lot of things actually. And once I got a good confidence that this kind of solutions are much needed, and a lot of people are not even aware that something like this can be automated. So that was a time. So they don't even know that they only know about the industrial automation, but they have no clue about what digital automation means. and they have absolutely no clue that they can automate the entire end-to-end process, and it can be simplified. So when I saw that kind of an interest coming in, that really kicked in. And but definitely, I mean, there's a lot of challenges in terms of taking a decision to leave the job, and first initially setting up things, proving myself, getting the first new customers. We are a very small team. I mean, it's only me who has to sell to the clients actually. Thanks to a couple of wonderful clients of ours, like ITC especially, where they have really trusted in me and trusted the solution, trusted the entire process, and they've given me an opportunity to actually build a solution for them. That's exactly where the confidence got doubled, and we have delivered that solution as well. And after that, slowly we got more number of clients, and slowly our confidence levels also started increasing. So, but yeah, there are a lot of challenges in terms of understanding what features are required by them, and understanding what the product journey would be, and trying to talk to multiple customers, or convince them to convert. So all these challenges were definitely there, and we happened to travel to multiple client locations and trying to understand at a ground level what is happening, and then building the solutions. All these things were quite challenging, and I had to manage within a time frame. I mean, within a let's say 6 months of time which I kept for myself. Within that time frame, I had to achieve certain target. I mean, that's the target. I just kept it for myself because I just quitted my job. So I set the target, and within 6 months, if I'm successful in terms of giving some solutions to the clients, then I would say that I'm continuing this journey. Otherwise, I was thinking that no, I'll go back to my job actually. And luckily, we got very good clients in that 6 months of time, and immediately there are many good investors who supported us, who understood the solution, and then immediately they started funding us, and the overall journey has started in. And it definitely was not a simple journey. A lot of difficulties, a lot of corrections, and a lot of learnings, a lot of lessons in the last 3 to 4 years, which I have really, I would say that I really enjoyed actually. I mean, I really explored a lot of new areas which I couldn't have done, if I've been doing my routine job.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Yeah. You are a product-based company, so Adaapt.ai is a product. So you must have developed that product, and there might be a time taken to market fit it. So how was that process? Like, how much time it take for your team to develop and come up with the entire full package solution ready to be delivered?
Yeah, before 2018, I also involved in developing a couple of products in e-commerce space, and I worked in social space basically, and I developed a couple of products actually. So I think this is very, very good question to be asked. And what we are done differently in Adaapt is we are not started with product. So first we started with clients actually. So with whatever we have in the existing market, so with whatever we have, right? I mean, we try to provide solutions to the clients. That's exactly how we started in, keeping product in mind. So I know the gaps. Basically, I exactly know that automations do work. I clearly know, and I also know that they need a lot of monitoring solutions which can actually help these automations scale across organizations. So that's the gap I clearly know. So we didn't jump onto the product very quickly. So we actually, what we did is we first tried to understand a couple of clients. We tried to get them in. We built the solutions for them, and we made them successful. Almost 250 plus processes we automated so far, and we made all these processes quite successful and quite running. Then we started our product journey. So we started in 2022. I would say roughly 2022 is what we have actually started our product journey, and then from that time we started evaluating what exactly the features they need on a practical basis. It is not just we assumed some features and we started building the product. So we went by the customer conversations. We actually discussed with customers. We tried to understand what is a gap, and we could clearly see that what is our support team is facing in, how many times they have to reach them, and who is actually micromanaging these particular bots. And exactly, we have built a solution to address those needs. So the main motive of building this particular product is that the whole support team, whoever is working on this particular bots, they use this product and they get benefited. And at the same time, the clients who are using this particular product, they need not really do a micromanaging of all these particular bots, and they can have a clear 360-degree view of the entire bots, whatever they are having in their company. So that's exactly how the journey started. So we went very slow, and we built feature by feature, and every feature was tested, conversed, understood, and tested and launched with the clients. And that's exactly where we are today. Where almost more than 10 clients are using this particular platform with us. And one client, we are actually deploying this entire solution across pan India, and that is how we are able to bring that trust in the clients. And we could able to show what this product, the benefit of this particular product is, and how they are going to benefit, and how they are going to actually speed up their entire digital transformation journey using this particular product. So when we have really shown that value coming out of this product, So that's exactly where we got very much confident on the product launch, and we launched it, and we made it live, and today it's scaling towards with more robust technology. At the same time, we are trying to introduce these AI features as well, and trying to make it more helpful for the enterprises in terms of automating their processes.
So basically, it was like you were already doing a consulting and a services business with some of the client and addressing those gaps and creating solutions with the available platforms out there in the market.
Absolutely.
And then in the process, in the journey, you also realized that these are the gaps and kept building the product.
Right. I mean, I would say in another way that basically I know the gaps, but actually instead of just jumping and building these particular features, so we actually worked with the clients, and based upon their feedback, we started building the product, and we started launching that product with them and making it more successful. Actually, that's exactly how we did the entire journey.
Super. So you directly address the need rather than analyzing the market first and building the product and then trying it out whether it will be successful or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you'll waste almost like 1.5 year in terms of just building product, just assuming that this is the need of the market. Correct. And after that, you really struggle to get the clients. But when you really get the clients, and when you really understood the gap there, and building a product and plugging that particular gap and giving that entire end-to-end package, end-to-end solution, that's actually what is needed in the market today, right? I mean, it is not. I mean, that's a more, I would say, more organical approach to launch a product and to scale it. So that's something which I think even the new startup founders who are coming in, I think they should really focus on those aspects. So instead of calling that as a service and consulting, I would call that as a product. It's a part of the product journey life cycle. So you need to place that as one of the aspect in your product life cycle journey. So when you converse with your clients, right? I mean, when you really talk with them, when you try to understand what their challenges are, you get a much bigger picture than what you right. And you actually tend to know more facts. I mean, more realistic facts. What is happening on the other side of the story. So when we really know that, then you know what exactly you need to develop and how you need to develop it, how you need to package it. You'll know a lot of information if you do with that kind of an approach. So I think that's something which we have done a little uniquely to ensure that the risk has been avoided. So we are developing what is exactly needed, and we are not wasting any time. So third is we are reducing our cost, and the fourth is we already have revenue in place so that we are safe and we can actually scale ourselves well. So and also we know the product market fit. I mean, since a couple of industries are using it, so we also are very sure about the product market fit. So these things will get cleared if you do with this approach.
Yep. Agree. Truly agree to that. With that, I would like to move on to the hyperautomation term or a hyperautomation space, right? So gradually there is a shift towards hyperautomation right now. So how should leaders balance the need for innovation with challenges of scaling and maintaining their existing systems?
I think right now there's something called as a board. I think what orchestration.
Gartner coined that term.
Yeah, that is what I know is in the rise. Actually, that's the keyword that's been used, where it's a combination of the RPA bots and orchestration solutions and artificial intelligence, right? And packaging it completely to simplify the entire digital transformation journey for the clients. So I think that is something I would say that it's more much bigger aspect than simple hyperautomation. So I mean, for leaders especially, what is happening is the first factor is the time to market. I mean, they don't have a lot of time with them to actually experiment different solutions and see whether it is working or not, and then implement it. I mean, they don't have so much of a time. So it has to be quite quick, and it has to really show them a value in a much quicker time. And it also need to be robust, and it should not have any kind of an errors in place, and it should be scalable. So these are the major factors what all the leaders are thinking today. Right. I mean, so they need a reliable solutions. All these leaders who are looking for automation, they need a reliable solution. And with the advancement of this AI, especially, and with the advance of this Copilot from Microsoft, or with the advance of this Power Automate, a lot of things got simplified, and time to market is quite reduced actually. And with solutions like orchestrator solutions with AI feature involved. So it is giving a much more transparency on the whole process which has been automated. So that is something which leaders are looking for, and they are definitely want to see such solutions happening in, and they want to see these solutions realize much quicker. I mean, and within 3 months of time, they should be able to see whether this particular solution works or not, and they should be able to take a call business calls accordingly. So that's exactly where the whole space is emerging in. I mean, I know it's not only about a simple RPA which actually is being used. It's a combination of multiple technologies and building a solution and scaling it to the huge volumes of the business. I mean, these are the aspects that the companies are looking in, especially.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And I believe this would be helpful for the leaders or upcoming leaders, basically, who are in process of being a leader in this space. So while we were discussing, and you have seen both the part of the journey, right? The product development part of it, and also the services and consulting. I'm again using that word because I mean, if you design a solution, you are either consulting your client to use certain product in such a one or other way, or you are providing the services if they are not able to do it, right? So how would you approach a decision making when you have to choose in-house development versus outsourcing some projects? You go for a readily available product, use it, get the job done, or rather than develop something on your own in-house. So how do you choose between the two?
To answer this particular question, I think first and foremost factor that comes into place is, so what is the need? What is actually challenge in front of you? I mean, what exactly you are trying to do? So that is something which you need to understand. I mean, what kind of a problem you are solving in, and what kind of solutions and technologies which are available, and how complex they are or how simple they are to actually integrate it and use it. And coming to the second question of going for outsourcing or going for an in-house, I definitely prefer in-house developments. Actually, I'm quite not very in favorable of going for outsource projects. So for going for in-house developments, you need to be very much sure about what exactly you need. I mean, you need to be very clear on what is your problem statement, what you need, and how you need it. I mean, these are the three major factors that you definitely need. I worked with outsourced teams quite in the past, but out of all that experience, I really felt in-house developments are much more better than going with outsource solutions.
I think for an enterprise or a large organization that are looking for some services, so whatever product we have in the market would always not match 100% to the needs. I mean, that happens most of the time. There would be certain products which would match, but it happens there are some gaps. They have to either go with the 90% or 80% features available in ready available product, right? So it's a matter of time. Maybe if they are willing to spend time, they can spend that time and develop a custom product which is 100% matching to their need, or they don't have time to build it, so they have to anyways, I mean, go with that whatever is available. I mean, this is a challenge with a large organizations. So they are always in the dilemma whether to develop or to buy.
Okay, so when it comes to the product, I mean, I think what I just explained is basically developing a product. I think now your question is more towards whether to go select a product or go for product, existing product, or going with in-house development from the client perspective. You might say.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for them, it is a lot of time-saving factor. That's one thing, and as you mentioned, there's a lot of features which will not be available, in most of the products, and they have to really struggle in terms of combining or integrating with multiple other technologies, other products, and they have to build an entire solution. That's definitely a challenge. Actually, I mean, I would definitely agree, with you. But actually, if you really see, I mean, there are very good products actually available in the market, and which are actually serving the needs of the customers to the point. I mean, what exactly they are expecting and what is the value trying to derive. So that is something they are able to get out of it. There could be few features which are not available, which is not satisfactory enough, but they are able to derive value from that particular product. With one or two features from the existing products. I think that is all matters for larger clients. They need not really have the entire 100% features, great experience. That is, I don't think so. That's the matter of concern. I mean, for large enterprises, they are more interested in terms of how soon and how quick I can realize the value. I can show the value to my leadership. So that's the more focal area which most of the clients would be looking in. So in that aspect, definitely going for the existing products and testing it and using them and seeing the value, I think that is more a preferable solution than really struggling right from beginning and building that entire product and realizing it after 1 or 2 years. And after that, you are not very sure that whether that has really met your needs or not. I don't think so. That's the most sustainable approach. And especially during these times where products have been built using AI quite faster, and the launch is also happening at a much faster pace, and you have multiple solutions available and multiple integrations are possible. So I think exploring the new upcoming products would be more feasible for enterprises.
Got it. So now, Srikanth, it's a time to move to a different section of this podcast. It's called Rapid Fire, where I expect the guest to answer the questions in probably 10 seconds is what generally we prefer. So Are you ready for this?
Yes, Devendra. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So the first question in the rapid fire is your favorite book on leadership?
Good to great.
Good to great. Okay. One word that describes your leadership style?
Flexible, adaptable. Yeah.
If not in RP and automation space, what industry would you have been?
Maybe acting actually. More on the creative side, maybe. Yeah.
Got it. One technology that excites you about the future? It should not be AI.
I think blockchain. I mean, that space is not explored actually thoroughly. It's one thing which is most of the people are still awaiting what will happen in that space. A combination of AI and blockchain is what I think people are more excited about.
Interesting. What is your most memorable moment as an entrepreneur?
When I got my first client, definitely. That is my memorable client. I mean, when we don't have any team and we got such a big project, that is my memorable moment.
Thanks for answering those questions. So from a founder's perspective, what current trends in RP and automation excites you the most?
AI agents is the most thing that is happening in. I'm also closely watching that particular space. I think it's a very good question. There are a couple of factors. I mean, right? I mean, it's not only about AI agents. There is an AI insights, right? There is a kind of a knowledge center, or it's kind of AI search engines. A combination of multiple technologies coming together, like which we are calling it as a boat, right? So that really excites me a lot. I mean, that would really change a complete enterprise viewpoint. So I'll just give you a small example. Like there are ERP solutions in the market, and many companies are using it. So they are using this particular one process, and they are having a team working on that same process across all the branches. And with these solutions, with this board kind of a approach solutions, that whole thing can be automated and centralized, and can be actually made it to work from one single location. And it can actually handle huge volumes. It will work 24/7, and it will also give a complete insights through AI integrations as well. So this whole package of solution, like what we are calling it as a board, so that is something which is really exciting for me. I mean, if companies start adapting to these particular technologies in this manner, a lot of critical processes, a lot of challenging processes can be automated at a much faster pace than what they are today. And also it gives a new experience as well, for the leadership or for the end users. It gives a very good experience in terms of getting the information right on their tips wherever they are, without even logging into the systems. So that's exactly the whole space is moving towards. I mean, all the applications would take a back step. The board will take a mid layer, and the final chatbot conversations will become the front end applications for a lot of users and for leadership to actually know what is happening in the backend, or what is happening in their processes, and they'll have a complete control of this entire end-to-end process. So that's something which is really fascinating, right? I mean, if you even imagine that the world is moving towards that kind of simplification, when we are really seeing that there are so many operations, so much of a processes, so much of a complexity, so many efficiency challenges or error challenges are there. So when you see these kind of solutions, that really excites me a lot. If the world is changing towards that, it's amazing actually. Getting together multiple technologies at one place and trying to simplify this entire critical processes, and also ensuring that it is the time to market is also quite faster.
Yeah, truly said. And for the audience who are just wondering what is BOAT, so it's not the BOAT company, but it's about the term coined by Gartner, which is Business Orchestration and Automation Technologies. That's an acronym used for these technologies. Cool. So Srikanth, moving ahead with another question. For those who are aspiring to lead in the automation space, what is one piece of advice you would like to give them so that they can stand out?
Okay. I think right now a lot of players are there who are actually trying to explore these automation solutions. I think I would suggest for all those who are trying to aspire in this area is to do your research thoroughly. Try to it's not only just about building some workflows or building a product which can actually automate that particular work, but try to understand what is the actual value that you are trying to give to your clients. What exactly you are trying to, how faster you are trying to give that solution, and how reliable your solution is, and try to do a good research and what are the problems from a client perspective. So a lot of solutions are there on the automation space and AI space. A lot of people are creating these AI agents, but really trying to understand the gap. what exactly the enterprise are looking today, and fixing that or meeting that particular needs is quite important. So doing your research thoroughly, having a conversations with a lot of clients, understanding their realistic problems on the ground makes a great difference. I mean, that is what I would suggest for all those who are aspiring in this automation space, to have more conversations with the clients to understand their practical challenges.
Yeah, I think that's a very great piece of advice, Srikanth. And with this, one more question just came in my mind. So people are saying RPA is dead. They are reaching out to me saying, what is the future of RPA in the next 2-3 years or 5 years down the line? Or someone who is just starting into RPA, right? A college grad, or maybe someone who has 2-3 years of experience into some other technologies, and then they are transitioning to RPA. But they have this fear: will RPA be there, continue to exist, or it will be just a small set of like very, very short-lived career in RPA, maybe? So, what are your views on your perspective around this?
RPA as a word may soon get obsolete. Basically, I mean, people may not be using that term as robotic process automations. I mean, that is an old term, definitely, as a term. But as a technology, it is evolving. It is really going into the much bigger zone and space. So it is now the same technology is now being converted into AI. Core idea of RPA is to automate your front-end processes, your front-end screens, trying to solve a lot of complex problems which you cannot solve it through APIs or technical solutions basically, or applications. So that aspect is evolving into a much bigger space. So RPA as a term may definitely, I mean, people may not be using it in future, but I would say that thinking it from a different perspective of using AI and trying to simplify this entire process of automation, bringing these concepts of agentic process automation like an APA, right? So these things will really take a new leap. So definitely all those who are aspiring for RPA, I would suggest that don't only learn some RPA tools, but actually learn it from an AI perspective, like how you can actually bring in AI and then automate critical solutions. I think with that approach, you'll have a lot of good opportunities in future, is what I strongly feel actually. So it should be a combination of your AI plus front-end automations.
Got it. So they should be viewing it as more holistic rather than just focusing on one RPA tool or a RPA platform.
It is no more you're building a code, you're grabbing the screens and you're automating. I don't think it won't be so in coming future. So it would be more on how fast you can understand this entire processes, and how fast you can automate that entire piece of process, and how fast you are able to make it reliable and more informative to the end customers. That would be the core focus area.
I think companies also, like the platform providers, are also starting to use these terms now: automation and AI.
With the partnership of Amazon and Adaapt, a lot of revolution is yet to be watched. So that space is quite interesting. So a lot of good things are happening in, and a lot of products are coming in which can actually change the entire dynamics of this process automations.
Super. Thanks for that. I think it would help to audience to go in the right direction and start upskilling themselves into this direction. With that, like, what is the USP of Adaapt.ai? Could you just like to tell something about your product, how it helps?
So as I was mentioning, right, I mean, we are using that term both, quite, frequently. So that's exactly, what Adaapt is all about. I mean, it's actually a combination of your AI agents and then the monitoring solutions, which is orchestration, and the AI insights. Basically, it's a combination of three main features coming together in one platform. So that's exactly the USP of it. So the main usage of this Adaapt platform is the companies can actually integrate all their standalone automation solutions built using different platforms across their organization into a single platform. So they can accumulate all the data, they can integrate with multiple databases, and they can have the AI solutions, AI chatbot as the front-end medium to actually get to know all the real-time insights, and it can actually help them in multiple ways for the enterprises, basically, for the leaders or for the users. So that's exactly what Adaapt does for you. Like you can actually automate your core critical processes like order to cash or procure to pay, and you can scale it across all the branches, and you can integrate them centrally using this Adaapt platform. And without logging into any of your existing applications, you can directly get all the insights, updates, incidents, alerts, all these things directly to your mobile or to your inbox, basically. So that's exactly the simplification that we are trying to bring in.
So using this platform, people can build automations as well as orchestrate automations.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that's
they can
actually, and they can monitor as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They can actually they can automate their solutions. They can integrate them centrally, and they can scale them across the branches based upon the volume, and they can use the AI element to get the insights out of it. So basically, you can just imagine a company who is having like, let's say some 70-80 branches, right? And they are following certain process across all the branches. So they can now automate that entire process using bots basically, and they can integrate with Adaapt, and they can add additional bots to manage the volume. And at the same time, they can use the AI, and they can get that insights out of that entire process from anywhere. So that's the kind of a simplification that Adaapt is trying to bring in.
And when you say monitoring a bot, how does it monitor?
Yeah, it captures the codes. It actually understands if there is any lag that is happening in. It tries to understand various factors, and it also provides recommendations in terms of what's a better code or simplified code that you can use in. And it can also suggest you multiple error logs to understand and modify your code so that the bot gets stabilized in a much faster pace.
So let's say an organization, his people have started their journey like from since RPA was there, right? So they might either be using UiPath or Automation Anywhere or Microsoft Power Automate or Blue Prism. So if customer or organization has a bots built in these technologies, can they be onboarded on your platform?
Yeah, they can actually get integrated with Adaapt as a central platform, and they can also integrate with their individual database as well, and they can get a complete control on their end-to-end process, right? I mean, let's say if you take a small example of order to cash as a process, basically, right? And the whole process has been automated by using any of these automation technologies, and they can integrate with Adaapt. At the same time, they can integrate with their database and try to see, how their process is running, what's the benefit they are getting in, right? And also they can use this AI chatbot, which we are adding as a one layer, to get the insights from that without even logging into Adaapt. They need not really log into the Adaapt system. They need not really logging into their ERP systems in the backend. So they can just use a simple chatbot to get all the insights or reports directly onto their mobile or onto their inbox. So that's a flexibility that Adaapt is trying to bring in. So this actually saves a lot of time, and it also can quickly give the insights and alert the users, alert the leaders if anything is going wrong. So everything will happen in a more synchronous manner.
So does it helping L1, L2 support teams mainly?
Absolutely. It's not only for L1, L2. It's actually a centralized platform for all the workers and the support team.
And how smooth is the integration, and how much time it take? For example, I have 10 processes and I want to integrate with the platform. So how much time it generally takes?
It's a quite user-friendly platform, and we have made it in such a way that anyone, even without having any technical knowledge, they can build this and they can integrate with their systems quite easily. So it's like roughly it'll take 1 week of time, even without any expertise. You can just set up your system and launch it and run it and monitor it within a week of time. So week is also a little too high, but yeah, in the initial stage, you may take a week of time, but over a period of time, you can just complete it within 1 or 2 days.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing all the info regarding the product. Do we have any community version or any trial for the platform?
Not right now. Actually, these are all been live right now with all the clients. Currently, we have not opened it up for the public actually. So it is all on custom basis. If anyone wants really to explore Adaapt platform, you can just contact us. So we'll show you how exactly the platform need to be launched and it need to be configured. So I think post that you can use this platform.
Sure. Thank you so much, Srikanth. With that, I think we are towards the end of this podcast, and I would like to hear from you any advice to the young professionals who are aspiring to build their career into this RP and automation space.
My advice would be don't rely only on one particular technology. You have to be thorough in terms of understanding all the technologies and how to actually use different technologies together in terms of building the solutions. That's first thing. Second thing is, it's not always about technology. You need to also know what's the industrial processes, what's the challenges. You also need to be aware on the functional side of it as well, actually on the business side of it as well. So these are the two things that I would definitely ask all the aspiring people actually who are trying to come into this automation space, and also be very watchful in terms of what changes that are happening in the market, because the market is quite dynamic and the technology is also changing rapidly. So be aware of and watchful of the new advancement that are happening and try to adapt it at the earliest. Actually, that would really make you stand out. At the same time, and at the same time, using that particular technologies together and providing a solution is also quite important. So you need to build that kind of a mindset to actually be in the race.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing the advice. I think it will be helpful to the aspiring professionals who are either transitioning to this role or thinking to start into this space? How was your experience coming to this podcast and joining me in the discussion?
Oh, it's great, man. I mean, I think really I should appreciate the hard work that you are putting in, and I was always inspired by your work as well. Like, I've been following your blogs, your newsletters, and it's been quite helpful in terms of keeping me updated on what is happening. So that's the first thing. And first of all, meeting you in person is quite a good aspect, and you've been so nice all through. That's one thing, and definitely, I mean, through you, I'm reaching a lot of RPA aspirants and a lot of automation aspirants, basically. So that's also a great experience that I would say. The whole arrangement, the setup, the ease that you brought in, and the kind of connection you made in. I think I should really thank you for that, and it was really pleasure for me to be part of this particular show. And at least if this can help someone in the community to some extent, I'll be quite happy.
Yeah, that's the intent of all this conversation. Thank you so much for taking out your time, Srikanth. I know you are quite occupied and running a show, so and you have a small team as well. So I would appreciate you taking out time and really making a time for this discussion. And it was wonderful interacting with you. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day.
Same here, and thanks a lot. Wish you all the best, and keep going and keep rocking. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye bye.